Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Bear's Den. How is everyone? It is Talk Show Tuesday time. Time to talk about video games, chat, drink beers, and really just relax, have some fun, enjoy times. That's what the talk show is all about. It's relaxing, having fun, chilling with friends, and finding out the crazy assholes in the video game industry are doing now or next, even. Depends on if you want to wear a tinfoil hat or not. Sorry we haven't been here for a while now. We are basically, we had things going on. It was like the first time 3 weeks ago I wasn't feeling well or something. And then he wasn't feeling well, and then Hurricane Ian, so yeah, we kind of haven't been around for a little while, but kind of got to cut us some slack, because we're human. Also, Blue, welcome, how are you doing? Good to see you. Who's the new guy? That is Paul. He is... we announced he was going to be joining us, like, a month and a half ago.
Full screen. Hi.
Windowed mode?
Yeah. Yes.
How we do things here now that I'm here.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Why is this Radeon software thing not going on? So
I don't know.
Is it
It's your
Alt
computer.
G or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or Alt R for Radeon, sorry.
That's right. So this is a little gorilla, but a little scuffed.
I mean, you look good. There.
You look really short.
I do look really short, which I'm pretty sure I'm taller than you, which is funny.
Yeah, because I think you're what? No, you're 6 foot, right?
I'm 5'11".
Yeah, so
Yeah. Maybe we're the same then. I don't know. I don't pay attention to people's heights, like, at all.
see,
Unless they're taller than me.
right, and I think that that's what humanity's problem is. Unless you're short, we don't care. Like, if you're tall, you're just normal.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, that's gonna come off bad.
Well,
To all our short viewers out there, we love you anyways.
well, I mean, realistically, more like humanity's problem is humanity. I mean, let's just face it. Let's call it what it is.
That's true.
Yeah, humanity sucks.
Yeah, and honestly, like we judge a lot of this stuff based on hats, which I always think is weird. Like, the more power you have in our society, the bigger your hat is.
Yeah.
Just a weird way to do things, but whatever. So we have a fun show.
Yeah. I don't know what we're talking about, but I mean, I have an idea of what some things.
We're
Right.
talking about ceiling fans.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that obvious? That's why we're here. We're talking about ceiling fans.
All that, yeah, it's solely about AIs and fans and how they're
Speeds.
and how we're still smarter than fan AI. Yeah,
That's fair.
that's exactly what
That
it
is
is.
fair.
That's-
You
cracked
actually don't have to keep that on your lap. If you wanted to, you could drag over one of those little things and put it right next to you.
I'm good because it'll distract me if it's not on
Yep.
me.
Yep.
If it's on me, then I'll focus on this because it's easily accessible. Yeah, for the people. Yeah, so you know, let's spell it out for them.
Yeah.
That's my special.
There's
That's what I add to the table.
I like that because I'm like the I always argue that we should always be showing players under the hood
Hmm.
of games.
Mhm.
Where I came into some problems sometimes in design because of that. So yeah.
This is the debug mode for
Yeah.
Smarter Than AI.
Oh crap! Alex got drunk isn't running anymore. Well,
Oh, damn.
fix that. Hold on. Yeah. All right. Should we let him go first? Let
Why
Paul
not?
go first?
Why not?
Oh boy, the pressure. Okay,
Put
so
his
I'll
feet to the
start with
fire.
a light one. Let me reopen it because I saw this today and I actually thought it was kind of interesting. But I guess the PS5 has finally been jailbroken,
I did see something about that actually.
and the first thing that everybody did with it was reinstall PT.
Nice.
So my understanding is that the whole process that they've created to actually jailbreak it is still super risky and has like a 30% success rate.
Yeah.
So a 70% chance to break your console. It
Yeah.
also has to be like, I think like 3 or 4 versions below what the current version
The
of the console
OS,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, the OS. Yeah, so this is what they've decided to do with this.
brand new technology that barely anyone has their hands on.
Oh god.
Play
yeah.
a game from 2 generations ago.
Yeah, not even a full game too, just a playable teaser. That's the
That's the actual title.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to add to that. I just thought that was really interesting that like it's just everything is fucking cyclical. Like they do this thing that could be used in so many different ways, and the first thing they do is this. Just put something that if you've wanted to play PT, I think you've probably played PT by now in some way, shape, or form. I played about 5 minutes of it and then turned it off because it literally scared the living fuck out of me.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
It is, yeah, it's intense. It's
Yeah.
intense. I hope something ever actually happens with that, but I don't think that's happening.
No.
No. So yeah, that's really kind of it for that story. It's a
Okay.
pretty straightforward shot. But yeah, don't do it unless you know exactly what you're doing.
I mean, dude, I wouldn't do it. 70% chance.
Of bricking your console.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Let alone the simple fact of, okay, it's a PS5, and how many of us actually have one?
Right.
Yeah, I see those claims all the time. I mean, I yes, they've said like 20 million PS5s have been sold or something now. It's like,
Okay.
are we sure about that?
Yeah.
Are we sure? I don't know. I wonder how many actually. I would love to know, like, have the ability to know exactly how many are actually in like scalpers. Yeah, like how many are just literally sitting in a warehouse for like $900 and no one's willing to buy it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know. Too bad I don't have that power.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. If you want to play PT on your PS5, you have a 30%.
For $500 sitting around just in case.
And you know where to find the files. You have a 30% chance of playing it right now.
I'm not rolling those dice.
Yeah, no.
No.
You want to go next, Rich?
Sure, I can.
Go for it.
Seeing how you know what? Let's kind of keep going with the hey, let's spend money if we got it kind of trend here. Nvidia just announced their RTX 4000 series cards, and well, to put it simply, you're gonna need a loan from the bank to buy pretty much the lowest tier of them.
Yeah.
So, because the 4080, it starts at 4080, and there's 2 models of them for some damn reason. There's a 12 gig and a 16 gig. The 12 gig starts at $900. The 16 is $1,200, and the 4090 is 24 gigs of RAM at $1,600. And it's like, damn. Pardon me, Nvidia, while I just like point and laugh.
Well, and it's one of those things too where it's like, do you not know what's going on right now with the world and the economy? Like, what are you fucking new here?
Mhm.
Like, yeah, it's very fucking bizarre.
I don't understand these price points. Like, it reminds me of was it Harada at Bandai Namco, the Tekken guy?
Yep.
He was recently said something along the lines of like, it's unfair how good what you get out of a PS5 and a Series X versus the cost of getting a high-end PC now.
Right.
It's like it's getting, that gap is getting so small for like a fourth or fifth of the price. And now
right. And honest to God, like, this is one of the things that really, like, okay, we were talking about this at fucking tacos the other day. We're coming to a point where graphics are almost becoming photorealistic, and we're stretching to try to find new technologies to to even justify this. Like, ray tracing is the like newest thing, you know, which saves on processing power and shit like that. But like at the end of the day,
I can't tell the difference.
And ray tracing does look cool. Like, there is cool shit that can be done. But this is what you're offering me for that price point? No. Like, does that make sense? Like,
what can it
Yeah.
reasonably offer for such a huge hike versus what, like, there aren't even games that are going to utilize it.
Right.
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 Exactly.
Like, no one's going to develop for those, like, that much power specifically.
AAA will. AAA will. And they'll
Yeah.
be the only ones.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, this comes back to, I mean, what? We can say that the indie boom really kicked off in like 2012, like where it was really started. Like, there was a bunch of titles in 2012 that were small indie companies.
They start consistently selling like
Right.
AAA
And
sales.
right. Like, so the masses have kind of already stated, like, we're here for gameplay and original shit.
Which is what
Not
that power
the
should
sparkliest fucking tassels that you can put on a car in Forza. You know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
one thing that's really killing Nvidia, in my opinion, on the newest cards that they've got is a couple of things actually. One, the power consumption is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Not green.
Yeah, no, not green at all. Especially considering some of the connections that they have on the newest cards. They're flimsy as fuck. They're very small, and when you're pumping that much voltage through those connections, they will melt.
Yeah.
And did you see the size of the fucking thing too?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, they're fucking huge.
Mhm.
It's like the size of, like, do you remember when like DVD players finally started getting small?
Oh,
And
yeah.
they like were like this big. Like they're like that big. Like, what the fuck? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like how, okay, so cool. Then I also have to buy a new case
Yeah.
and like
Reinstall everything.
weld it in there, like, because it really does look like insanely large. And I love that their justification during the press conference, they were like, well, I mean, most people will have cases this big, and ever, like, because Aaron and I were talking about the other day in the kitchen, and we both went, I mean, I have a big case in my, I still, like, I would have to re-kajigger, to use the scientific term, everything inside my case except for the power supply, which sits on the bottom.
If
right?
I took off one of the glass panels on my PC and just left it off permanently, I could install it.
Yep.
But then I just have a giant exposed box of heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Bill.
Don't want that.
But the other thing, touching on the size of them, is like the 3070 that I've got in my computer now, that's a double wide. The
Right.
4000 series, they're triple wides.
Right.
So
Right.
they're just that much more huge.
And honest to God, like, I gotta tell you, there is an amount of Oreo cookie and filling that I want. Okay, does that make sense?
Mhm.
I think the original one and the original amount of fucking like frosting is good. Like, you know,
Yeah.
double stuffs when I'm in the mood, sick, you know, like
Yeah.
sometimes you want DVDA. Why do I always go to places like that? But I never want a triple DVDA. I don't even know what that would be called. Try it. Like,
I have that song stuck in my head.
Sorry. Like, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
that's an insane size.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that is an insane size. And
Yep.
like, I get it. You want to be the first to the market, like, you know, and that's, I'm sure, what like a big part of this was,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you announce your shit first, you know, establish your dominance, piss
Make
on all the-
everybody play catch up.
right, and piss on all the trees. But like, we've seen that exact same thing fail so many times before. Like PS3, fucking Xbox 360. We've seen it on like every console generation, even. Like,
Yep.
you know, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. But and they're so fucking proud of it. They're like,
Yep.
look at it. God! Like, the guy looked like he was having wrist strain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, I can't wait to buy that.
At what point do they become the same size as a console?
Dude, somebody, Aaron and I were saying, like,
Plug it in.
Aaron and I were saying that like they should have a support beam like accessory.
Yeah.
Like that like literally comes and you have to like weld it in so that there's like an I-beam. Like, goddamn,
Oh, yeah.
dude. Fucking bad.
Like,
The one
honestly. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say the one thing that makes it even worse though is the CEO of Nvidia during the press conference even came out and said the high prices, they're here to stay. They're
I
not
know.
going anywhere.
Which
And
is
it's like,
laughable because
hmm.
every other card price has been going down. This year finally was the tipping point. The wave kind of broke, and now you can buy a pretty goddamn good card for $800.
That
Like,
should be some kind of like market like that should be illegal that he can go up there and say something like that.
why?
And
Because we all meme on him.
Yeah, but
Like-
it actually, like someone like that has that kind of power to actually set the standard. And now everybody has to like address that or at least acknowledge it internally to some degree that like if the top of the line is sorry, yeah, if the top of the line is got it. If the top of the line is saying like this is what it is now, like someone will challenge it, but most won't.
Yeah, I know, but like when the PlayStation 3 came out, it was 600 fucking bucks.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
and people were like, "What?"
But there was
Like-
literally one other competitor.
Right.
Sorry, what were you saying, Rich?
I was gonna say, as far as Nvidia coming out and saying, okay, here's the price for the next gen of cards, AMD still hasn't announced theirs. They can sit there and be like, oh, okay, here's Nvidia's, here's ours at a reasonable price, so go
Right.
buy ours.
Right. And honestly, like at the end of the day, like, and this is, I was gonna say no offense to people, but totally offense to people. People are sheep and they're broke.
Hmm.
Like the general masses are broke. Yes, you will get some fucking golden calf people who are like, oh, I have to have the newest thing. But the most of us, that's not the case. We're looking for economy and we're looking for performance. And we have those. And when this happens, that's going to make the lower end stuff drop a little bit more in price. And most of us are going to go, dude, I can jump up like 2 or 3 generations for like, again, $800. Fuck that. Like, you know, like it's a nonsensical argument in my eyes.
Oh yeah.
An SSD is more important than a graphics card for game performance at this point. Like we're hitting we've plateaued.
The
like
inflection
we've hit the peak. It has flatlined. SSDs are far more important, and like people, they're like they're still not really being like utilized
Utilized.
across the board.
Right.
It's still frustrating. Like even playing like
I have a piece of shit and I can still do ultra on most games.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Like just get an SSD. They're more important. Your games will play better on those.
Yeah.
Ugh.
do we have anything else to say on this?
The only other thing I have to say on this is just literally proving that the CEO is completely and totally idiotic by sitting there publicly saying Moore's Law is dead. They've gotten rid of Moore's Law. They're able to surpass that. And it's like, fine, put the transistors literally on top of each other and you're going to fry your board. I guarantee it.
And that is such a fucking asinine thing to say, to be
Yes.
completely honest with
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Like, that is so asinine. Like, okay, cool. So what you're saying is that Moore's Law is dead, and literally in the next 4 years, you're not going to come out and go, we figured it out. We made one that was this big. No, that's exactly what you're going to do. Like, that is exactly what's going to happen. So I don't even want to hear that shit. Like, that's insane. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
an insane person would say.
Yep.
Do we want to do short and fast, fun little gym jams?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever.
So let's do fun and fast. The next fest started today or yesterday.
Sorry, I just had a sound
Steam's
effect
Next
go
Fest?
off. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Steam's Next Fest just started. And again, we've talked about this a bunch of times. They've actually had 2 now before this one, even since we've been talking about it. Yeah.
2 or 3, yeah.
So it's a bunch of demos. You can go to Steam and there's a bunch of new, usually indie titles that you can download a demo for free. Go and check them out before they come out. I went and I poked around today. So I just wanted to bring up some highlights for me. One of which, the first one that I fucking, of course, caught my eyes and genitals. Do you remember that game, Orgienizer?
No, I don't, but yeah, I
You don't remember the game where you play...
where you plan out an orgy. Yes.
Yes, that's right. You set up an orgy. It is a sim game, and you set up. You don't. There's no explicit sex or anything.
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say, is this trying to be like a
it is a sim game.
a sexy game?
It is a
No, it's
sim
just
tell game basically, where you set up an orgy and you try to make everyone happy in the
Huh.
orgy.
okay.
I love that fucking concept. I already downloaded it. Have not played it yet, but I was like, fuck that. This is like right in my wheelhouse. It's hilarious.
Good concept.
It's such a good concept. It's weirdly friendly. We talked about this originally. These guys, when we talked about this originally, they are donating 20% of all of their proceedings to Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
Nice.
because of the whole
That's cool.
Roe versus Wade bullshit.
Yeah, that's cool.
They decided fuck that. And with the theme, it makes total sense. So
But we
that
got
is
some visits after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's great. And it's for a great cause. So I downloaded the demo, haven't played it yet. So probably next week I might bring that up. You know what we should maybe start too? We now that we're all in the same time zone, we may want to start adding this to a third hour and then have like a play corner or maybe even
That'd be
30
great.
minutes where like what we've been playing, what we've been finding. I think that could be fun.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd be
interesting.
down for that. Yeah.
yeah, I think it could be fun. So that was the first one. Next, I did download this game called Potionomics, which again is right in my wheelhouse because basically, if you are into the fantasy shop owner kind of thing, where you make potions and equipment and armor, the character models are very, very cute and very, very unique. Even in the fantasy genre, I was instantly drawn in.
That
So
helps a lot. Yeah.
it
Yeah,
does,
to kinda
and they
good
have
art.
this cute kind of like Shantae thing where they do this. Like
Oh,
all the character
the
models, they,
stationary.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have like a bop to them. So Potionomics is 100% something that I'm looking forward to. And the last one was called Bravery and Greed. It was a beat 'em up slash roguelike. It's also co-op.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
Not
so
a lot of like co-op roguelites.
and let alone a beat 'em up genre because it's
Yeah.
literally four people kind of like
That's-
very different. That one also caught my eye. So those are the three that like just on my cursory view over I don't know 15 minutes, maybe even less. That like really caught my eye.
Okay.
There's my other roommate. Sorry. So yeah, if you're bored and you are sitting around and you're like, I don't really know what to play, you could make your Steam library even bigger for $0 by going in and pulling some games that you may or may not even play the
I
demos.
love that Steam's doing that shit now. Like they do it with
Oh, yeah.
Games Fest or not Games Fest. The Game Awards. They they put stuff up. Like Summer Games Fest is the one I was thinking of. That's also Jeff Keighley's
Mhm.
whole thing. But like that shit's so cool. Like I'm so glad that somebody's actually like
This makes
realizing what year we're in with internet tech and
Right.
can like
download it.
just put it.
Go play it.
Yeah.
If
Go
you
play
really
demo.
need to, you
Go
can
play
set
demo.
it up to remove it too. Like you have all the control in the world. You should be using it.
And it's great for small devs because it's free for them. Give us a demo copy. They check it the same way as they do any other game, and then bam, everyone can go and check out your game.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely just
It's
if
like the smartest thing you can do
100%,
as
Oh,
a
yeah.
publisher.
100%. So everyone just go and check it out.
Yeah. Probably gonna head check it out. Maybe not after the show tonight, but definitely tomorrow.
Yeah.
I do really like this. We're kind of in this, and Square, of all companies, Square Enix has been leading the charge. We're kind of in this like renaissance era of demos again.
Square Enix is definitely not
For
leading the
console, they are.
Okay.
For
Okay.
console, they are.
That is a pretty big caveat, FYI.
Basically,
Yeah.
everything that they've announced coming out in the next 6 months, there's a playable demo on whatever console it's coming out on. Which, like, no one else is really doing that in the console space anymore.
Yes.
But it
Yeah.
is nice to see that this sort of, especially even on PC with all these fests and
Yeah.
shit, like
Yeah, dude.
really getting your game out early.
And this is the second one because the first one I think was in February. Is that right, Rich? When the next fest, the first one came out, or was it December? Because it was right around the time.
Sooner than that. I think this is the third one actually. I want to say
Okay,
there was one
okay.
in like May and then another in
See,
January,
that's
December.
so top, dude. That shit is fucking top. Like, this is the shit we need more of.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. You are next.
Oh, it's me?
That's
That's
how it
me?
works. It's a rotation.
Yeah. No,
Puff, puff,
it
pass.
was sarcasm.
Was it?
I'm not very good at it.
Yeah, that's not.
So this one, let me bring it up real quick here. I can't remember if it's a video or if it's an actual article.
You're good at this.
And this kind of speaks to a larger point. I'm bringing this story up because I feel like there's a larger story to tell. But of all the IPs to come out in the last couple of years, the Medium from Bloober Team is getting a TV show.
What? The one with the
Yes.
white-haired girl?
Yes, and the swapping between, or where the two worlds or
Yeah,
parallel worlds are at the same time, yada yada.
I
It was
played Silent Hill.
very poorly received.
It wasn't poorly received. It just
it wasn't well
it
received.
just wasn't
Yeah.
received.
It wasn't well. It was received.
It just came out.
But yeah, so basically, in the long list of IPs that should get a TV or movie treatment, we're getting this like lackluster, like just run of the mill horror game. And it just kind of goes to my larger point of like this isn't the first IP of questionable quality and questionable reception to then go into like production for a TV show or a movie. Like it just everything is treated like it's this massive IP, like potential for money before it ever like even remotely proves that it's actually like capable of that or worthy of that treatment.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of some other ones, but like what was it? Like there's some Sony stuff I think that like they're turning into series and it's like why?
Yep.
Like Twisted Metal I think is getting a show from what I understand. And I think Anthony Mackie is in it.
What?
The Twisted Metal series that Sony's producing.
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's never
But it also kind of ties into they also on that note, Sony Productions announced that they're working with FromSoft on a potential TV/movie based on one of their properties.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody's just like, whether or not it makes sense,
I know.
you're just like, we're putting it out there and we're gonna give it
Are all
some treatment. And we're
Joy.
probably gonna ignore a lot of what you want.
Really quickly, I had one for this too. So did either one of you watch the Shenmue anime?
No.
Did you, Rich?
No?
I've played Shenmue. Why would I watch an anime based
So, so here's the fucking funny. Yeah, I did too. Oh yeah, you played it on stream.
I play Shenmue 3. I hate Shenmue.
It's like bad. So it had an anime, got a first season, got canceled today. So it is official. Ryo Hazuki can never finish his story. That poor bastard. That poor bastard can never finish. He will never get vengeance for his father ever.
But see, yeah, that goes right into it.
I know.
That's an IP that
not
is
great.
not.
It's why would you even do it?
It's not a successful IP,
Yeah.
and there are 3 games
Yep.
that had abysmal sales. Well, I assume the first Shenmue had pretty good sales considering the time it came out and what it was offering. Yada yada.
But at the end of the day, what the hell, dude? Why? Like, yeah.
Like, why you and if you weren't going to do something different, why would you even do the anime on it?
Well, because it
With the potential of it never getting.
it had kung fu.
Like-
Well, because maybe they did that like intentionally. Like, wouldn't it be hilarious if we gave them? And by the way, Shenmue 3's Kickstarter announced at E3. Like, that's how little
God.
people give a shit about
Yeah,
fucking.
Let's
Oh, yeah.
kickstart the second season. Let's go.
Right, like seriously, like maybe 5-10 years down the line, they'll kickstart the second season of the anime.
Oh.
Rich, your turn.
Speaking about just throwing money at lost causes.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, does anyone remember Star Citizen? Let's just start there.
Yeah, I'm aware of its infamy. The fact that how long has it been technically in? Is it in alpha or beta or something? It's not officially released.
No,
right?
no, it's not released at all.
But it's been like
it has been in development literally now for over a decade. And you know the sad part? It has Kickstart, crowdfunded, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
$500 million.
That's upsetting.
What is
Yes.
Star Citizen raising $500 million
and still
through its
not
Kickstarter.
Yeah,
And it's
not
still unfinished after a decade of development.
Yeah, no. That game is like What's a good comparison for that?
I don't
Like,
think there is.
No,
Duke Nukem
I-
It
Forever.
is the comparison that you make in the
Duke
future.
Nukem Forever would be a good comparison. Took over
Right,
Well,
over a
Duke Nukem
decade
Forever
and came out
wasn't
like
Kickstarter.
shit.
Right,
Yeah.
but it wasn't Kickstarter, and
Duke
we
Nukem was
yeah.
just delayed. You
And-
couldn't play it.
we were just talking the other day. So
Oh, yeah.
now, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is officially the longest in development announced game of all time.
That's been delayed. Yeah.
It has actually surpassed it. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any more Duke Nukem stuff.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
And I'm a huge fan of Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah.
So
People really want Beyond Good and Evil too. They've been promised
they
it for
do.
so
But then
fucking
they came up
long.
with this fucking weird animals in space swearing thing. Like that was not at all what the original game was. Like this is clearly just an Ubisoft thing, right? Like they don't have any idea like how the magic happened the first time, and they just keep throwing darts at the wall, and they're just hoping like you can reconnect to that.
It
level.
almost feels like money laundering. Like someone there,
like a French mafia.
someone there just has like untouched, like unrivaled creative control to just do whatever he wants regardless of the cost, and the rest of the company has to just keep making Assassin's Creed games to feed this guy's like budget. He just keeps making whatever the fuck he wants, and he changes it on a whim, but he's on some crazy contract that they can't just get rid of him.
What do they call that for teachers? Tenured.
Yeah,
He's
he's
tenured.
a tenured developer
tenured.
at Ubisoft, and it's just like what it feels like. It feels like a racket
It does.
for
Mhm.
like unfinished projects.
Speaking of which, did you guys see that Skull and Bones? I didn't even have this on.
Oh,
my
it's on.
thing.
I have it.
damn it,
Yeah, it
damn
got
it.
delayed for the fifth
Skull and
time.
Bones. Rich? Do you even remember Skull and Bones? It was basically Assassin's Creed, like piracy. Like you're
ship
all just on
yeah.
boats.
Ugh.
Yeah, that game is still apparently in development. And
Yeah.
they announced it literally 2 days ago that it's just getting delayed again. It's like, dude, why are you even telling us at this point? To remind us this exists? Or for the 3 diehard, like, I can't wait for Skull and Bones people? Because there's only got to be 3 people on the planet, one of which is probably married to one of the developers. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone else, like, doesn't give a shit, does not remember that.
Yeah.
All the people that played Black Flag and then had to sell their console for some reason and just never played another video game.
We
again.
do a
They're
video
also
game.
excited.
We do a video game show every week. Rich, do you remember Skull and Bones? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, it's March 9, 2023. That's the new release.
there we go.
It's like
was
Close to my birthday.
It was
It-
delayed for balance.
It's kind of like
It's announced in 2017. It was Aaron just reminded me. It was announced in 2017.
oh, okay. Like
God, dude, we gotta get you on the show, motherfucker.
Yeah, right here, E3 2017.
Yep.
It's kind of like Skull and Bones. You mean Sea of Thieves, right? No,
No,
yes,
it's
you mean Sea of
Minus
Thieves, right?
like the off ship stuff.
It's
There's no...
also the dark interpretation.
Yeah.
It's the DC universe.
Oh, do you like fun? This isn't. the
Yeah, we
game
don't have
for
that.
you.
We have
free
none
fun.
of that.
Oh, so in other words, it's the DC universe, huh?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, here's another.
Whose turn is it?
Real quick, here's another little ditty on top of the. Here's a little cherry on top of the shit Sunday that is Skull and Bones. It will be the first $70 title from Ubisoft they announced.
Yes, in 2025, when that comes out, that will
Yes.
be the first one.
Yes. I don't. Yeah, exactly. For that reason, right there, I don't expect that to actually hold up.
Yeah,
No.
I assume another one will come out in like
in lieu.
July when
Yeah.
it gets delayed to November.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be the first $70 title.
So Skull and Bones is basically going to be Ubisoft's Babylon's Fall.
I mean, they already have that because they already have now the longest running. They have Beyond Good and Evil 2. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Well, no, that
one's-
it
okay,
can
I
come
see the
out and then
correlation. I
immediately
get it.
crash.
Right, that was on me. That was on me. I didn't get the analogy. That's on me.
People are
Is it
weirdly excited about
me or is it you, Rich?
You kind of went into.
yeah, we tied that into.
Yeah, I got a couple of like mini ones that aren't like really conversation worthy. So, okay. Okay. Do you want to have a funny conversation?
Oh boy.
Okay. Let's have a funny conversation. So, first and foremost, I don't know if anyone else has a thing on this, but we all know now, or if you don't, Stadia is shutting down.
Yeah.
Google is shutting down Stadia. It is official. There is
I'll let you keep going. I have something to add if you don't hit it though.
I 100%. The ad is the whole point of mine.
Okay.
So, Stadia has officially announced they're done. Google is like they're tired of it. I mean they sunk millions of dollars, and
Yeah.
frankly they gave it a good try. You know, like we've seen it before. We'll probably see it again. Like the problem is the infrastructure and the conceived value of this thing plays games. I have it in my hand versus I just need this, I guess. And you know,
For
like
me, I think it's the ownership.
I think it is too.
Because
I
even
think
with a
that's part of
Steam Deck, you have
You
a
have
library
something.
that you feel like you physically own.
Right.
Like Steam has earned that trust.
Right.
Stadia never.
Google just showed up and they were just like,
Google,
we're gonna change the game.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, relax.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was my actual point. So Stadia's exhibit of historic game blunders is on eBay now. I'm sure that no one knows what this is, so I'm just going to explain it. So in 2019, when Stadia was announced, it was actually announced at Game Developers Conference, so GDC. That's not a public event. That is for basically industry people. So no one even knew what it was. But they had the funniest fucking thing. I didn't even know about this until this story broke. So at the Stadia booth, right next to it, they had a big glass case with 3 smaller cases in it. And it was supposed to be kind of like a thing people would take pictures for, kind of thing. Like just some little But what was
Like
in
those
it,
things you put your face in.
yeah, right. Like when you go to like a fucking
The fair.
fair, yeah. But it had inside of these little cases the 1980s ET, which everyone historically attributes to the fall of Western gaming before Nintendo came in and saved us all. The Power Glove and a Sega Dreamcast. But the fourth thing was just a podium. It was an empty podium with a note on it saying coming soon. So let's just fucking take 1 second to like talk about this. What does E.T., the Power Glove, and the Dreamcast have in common?
That's really mean to Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Okay, continue down that road. Go ahead, continue down
I mean,
that road.
they were more or less meant to be big deals, but were more, I mean, for lack of a better term, a failure.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Dreamcast is the only one that is questionable, but it led to the demise of Sega as a console maker. So, you could argue the Saturn led to that. And Dreamcast was that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, they were the death throes of. I mean, even the Power Glove was like the last.
It was
bad
bad.
peripheral.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. There's tons of more bad peripherals, but
Not necessarily from Nintendo though.
Yes.
I would fight that for a whole nother hour if we had the time. But have you ever seen the speed board? Or the wave? Like okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so but at the time, people were like super fucking confused. They were like, it's just a box with a fucking copy ET, a Power Glove, and a Dreamcast, and an empty podium saying coming soon. Actually, I saw a really funny tweet. You ever see those tweets that like tweets that didn't age well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is kind of like how I equate this. Like, so here's the funny part about this. This dude is now put up all 3 of those exact items that were on like the display for this GDC 2019 up on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're now on sale. The current bid is $1,500, which, if you look at the things, is I know, but that's about right-ish, considering the pedigree. It's so funny when people come into this show and either we're talking about old things and they leave, or we're talking about new things and they leave. Like,
Yeah.
that is the irony of this show. Anyways,
It can't please anybody.
it can't please anybody.
No,
It's
no,
smarter than
no.
AI. Can't please anybody. Title of my sex tape. So this lot goes up on eBay, and people are like, wait, so what? And he has a little blurb, and it says exactly this. Remember when Google Stadia had that GDC display where they sat it next to three gaming history's most famous failures? Question mark. Video Game Foundation co-director Frank Ciafaldi tweeted this yesterday. He tweeted this um, shortly after the announcement of the end of Stadia. So they announced the end of Stadia, and then Frank Ciafaldi goes and like puts this shit on eBay and then tweets this out. Here it goes. Now you can recreate this display in your own home. I provide the originals from the display and I'm selling them for charity. Okay, first of all, that's hilarious and very self-forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's top. Um, so I just wanted to have a little bit of a conversation about this. I have a little bit more past this, but I just like find the irony of this completely amazing, right? Like we're you guys were celebrating like huge failures in gaming only to create
your own
huge failure, billions of dollars of failure. Shit, I bet that fucking
It has a sense of humor.
it really does. It's cyclical. But this was the funny part. So he also went on to tweet a second part. The exhibit went through what felt like several committees and decision makers, all who disagreed with each other. They changed direction completely within a week, left before the show. By the end, it was a mishmash of two completely different concepts: a timeline of video console game innovation and collectibles people will want to take selfies next to. So that's why it's just like three random objects, basically.
Okay.
Like, so this is my favorite part. The details don't really matter. What really matters here, at the end of the day, it was not my fault.
Nice.
I love that guy now. That dude is hilarious. Inside the article, he also said that when it got done, he basically like packed it all up and then he just stuck it in a closet within the Google office.
Oh wow.
And it just sat there. And then started closing down. And he just grabbed it and he was like, "Fuck it, this will be hilarious." What a fucking boss, dude! Like for charity, not for himself, for charity.
No, that's even cool.
But what a fucking boss, and what a hilarious fucking footnote of fucking goddamn video game history.
Yeah,
I actually have a little quick one directly related to this.
Well, I was gonna say I've got something to add on to the story. As far as Google shutting down Stadia, they're also doing refunds on any hardware and games and DLC purchased through the Google Store. So if you bought like the controller at GameStop or some games over at Best Buy or whatever for Stadia, you're SOL. But if
you can't buy games anywhere.
Whatever.
It's all
whatever. But like the DLC,
game part is fine.
If you bought that outside of the Google Play Store for Stadia, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But if you bought them on the Google Play Store for Stadia, you're getting your money back.
Yeah. And which, by the way, how much of an admission of fucking failure is that?
Yeah.
Like, we're refunding everything.
Well,
we're refunding the last 3 years.
That's Google having
Google
money to just throw away. That's all that is. They're like, people can buy the PR. Like, that's all that is.
That's true.
No. And I actually have, because it's sort of a small symptom of maybe what Stadia did wrong. Reportedly, they turned down a Death Stranding exclusive sequel. It was greenlit and was apparently in production, and their reasoning was it didn't have multiplayer features, so they didn't think it would sell well.
That's bad.
So they completely scrapped a Death Stranding exclusive project to Google Stadia. Developed by Kojima Productions. Like, he was doing it.
Yeah, I mean that's bad, but to be fair, it's not like that game.
I would have bought a Stadia to play that.
No,
I absolutely would have. I am in the market that, like, I'm in that bracket that could have afforded it.
The 0.05%.
And then I would have, I might have. I don't know what I would have done after that, but I would have wanted. It would have been a hard decision to make for me. But I'm an idiot, so.
Considering,
but no, like, again, those are those are sort of like the things that you have to do. Like, what
I know,
became
but
a Stadia exclusive?
they needed
Like,
guilt with a Y.
sure,
No,
I
really.
believe you.
No, seriously. It's called guilt with a Y. Google it. Somebody.
No, I'm
somebody
not
Google it.
doubting you. I just
No,
I
I'm just
don't
saying.
know.
Yes, and I did. Bam.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah.
Guilt with a Y.
Like, exclusives aren't the end all be all, but you have to have them.
100%. And a fucking game that like didn't do well as an exclusive on one fucking good selling home base console. You think it's gonna do good on?
Death Stranding sold well.
Okay, but
Death
like,
Stranding, I think
wait,
you'd be
wait.
surprised. Hold on.
was that right?
One, I'm still trying to find it. I can't find it.
5 million units on PS4 and PC.
But as
So
far
that's not- that was as of March 2021. There has been a PS5.
but as far as
version.
like Death Stranding being the thing that's gonna save Stadia, honestly,
No.
from what I know
If it
of
was
Death
Metal Gear
Stranding,
Solid
Yeah.
and you had Metal Gear,
Yes.
like I
Yeah.
could go, yes. that
My
makes sense.
point is more that this is
No,
just one of the stories that actually got
right.
out. Who knows what else they actually like made bad decisions about?
It's endemic.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
endemic. Like
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I am not sitting here trying to say that Death Stranding 2 would sell Stadias.
It's not gonna.
It's not going
No.
to. But yeah, I think that it highlights a larger problem within that whole team.
Yes, agreed. Rich, you got something?
sure.
Wow, we've only gone 50 minutes. You know what's crazy about three of us is that like now this is like the difference between Joel, Mystery Science Theater, and then Mike, Mystery Science Theater, the amount of like jokes and things that are said, and then fucking like the most recent one with Jonah. And it's just like we're just constantly saying shit now.
Oh god, yeah.
This is like rapid fire fucking smarter.
Yep.
That's how podcasts are though.
Alrighty.
So yeah, wasn't sure what the rotation.
Kind of looping back to Nvidia here on this one. EVGA. They're breaking out of graphics cards. Period. They're separating their partnership with Nvidia, and they've come forth and said, "Hey, graphics cards, we're out of the game. Period. End of story." They're focusing more on power supplies and other computer components that they already have their own line for. Yes, it is a smaller market share, but the profits are a lot higher because Nvidia controlled, much like how Apple does. Nvidia controlled, here's the highest you can set your cards for, here's the lowest, and oh, by the way, the Founders Editions, nope, you can't sell those. The top tier cards, nope, you can't sell those either. So Nvidia was, to quote EGA, they were very difficult to work with. So yeah, let's go get those EVGA power supplies. Woo.
Yeah, and like the weird thing to me is like I don't know enough about them to be like, so what else are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Like, like the only reason this story even cropped up for me to have visualization of it is because they did split.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I had
Like,
never heard most of those names, most of those words until that story. Until I read that story.
Legitimately, like,
Yeah.
so okay. I mean, cool. I guess. Like
Godspeed.
yeah.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
have fun.
kind of got to
Hope
do
it
what's
works
good
out
for
for
your
ya.
company, but at the same
you
point
and
in time,
Stadia
it's like,
are on the same
they're-
ferry, just leaving America, and we're all like, I mean, I guess, fuck us.
There are other opportunities out there,
like,
sure.
We're all like, well, I guess I'm just gonna go to lunch. I don't know, I don't know what else to tell you. This doesn't really affect my life in any way, shape, or form. But
It's just that Thanos meme. I have no idea
who you are. Yeah, exactly.
like,
Yeah, that is a little bizarre though, because I thought that like literally when I heard that I was like, who? And then I did some Google and I was like, oh, okay.
Sure.
I mean, those are some nice LED lights, I guess. Like who?
Yeah.
Like at this point, who isn't strapping LEDs to basically their fucking cock rings? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how much LED. You can go into any store, pick up a rock, spin in 360 degrees, and just what? And
Hey,
you will hit some sort of LED
it's
thing.
one more step towards normalizing like the cyberpunk future.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
and
That's if it gets us closer to that,
You
but
missed a word though. Dystopian was a word
yeah,
that you missed.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
already in a dystopia.
Yeah, I
like,
know,
come
but
on.
yeah,
Come
you're
on.
right.
We're
I wouldn't say we're
at
in
least
dystopian, but we're definitely heading that way.
yeah.
We are in book 5 of 7 on the fall of Rome.
I'm
True.
miserable enough. I want to be miserable and have robot arms. If I'm going to be miserable, let me jump on top of a house freely. Like, give me all those enhancements. Let's just fucking do this already.
I feel like the first thing I would want would be robot pelvis. You know why?
So it doesn't break when snooze.
That's right. And also because I'm kind of a power top. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Somebody hasn't played Cyberpunk.
metal I need metal wrist braces here because like I'm a power top. What do you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
by
actually
the
a
way,
whole
as far as the whole like LEDs on your cock ring and whatnot, they probably have those already. So
Oh no, guaranteed.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bluetooth remote control.
I bet I could go on Amazon and get one. Like, so that's how like they're like endemic they are.
No, that's actually a side quest in Cyberpunk. A guy who's
Yep, they do.
robot dick malfunctions.
Yeah, I know. It's Jesse Cox.
Is it?
That's the guy who does the voice for it.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
awesome. And
Yeah, it's a fun little side quest.
Okay, so we are still only an hour in.
Wow.
I still have. Yeah, I know, dude. We have been rapid firing. To be fair, we're trying to adjust to a new
new format.
format, new people.
Yeah.
So I am going to slow things down a smidge. I would like to talk about something a little boring, if that's okay.
Not allowed.
My show. So, once again, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. Well played.
It's not the forbidden
so-
topic.
I don't. No. Definitely not forbidden topic.
Okay.
Forbidden topic is forbidden.
Yeah.
But did you guys see that the entertainment platform, which I hate those two words together, Fandom
Yeah.
ended up buying Red Ventures brands. So that includes GameSpot, Metacritic, Giant Bomb, as well as a bunch of other media sites. Now, more than anything else, I'd like to kind of like focus this discussion a little bit so that we could have like an easier time talking about it.
Mhm.
GameSpot, Metacritic, and Giant Bomb. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? Okay. So Giant Bomb has been around for a very, very long time, right?
Yeah.
Metacritic is fucking Metacritic,
Yeah.
and GameSpot, a dying old.
It's a thing.
It's a
Yeah.
dying old. It's an old dog that like smells bad
Although
and it has no teeth.
It is
but-
very interesting that it's kind of, I guess, ironic that GameSpot and Giant Bomb are owned by the same people.
Yes.
All things
Eh,
considered.
yeah,
How Giant Bomb formed.
Right. And once again, a big media company comes in and a bunch of money's in.
It's fucking media buyouts.
Yep. But like I feel like this is super weird, right? Like for me, like the biggest one that like sticks out is Metacritic. GameSpot, we all kind of know. It really is a lame old dog that we used to go there for game facts and kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like old school days. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
I still have some fond Google memories of it, helping me in whatever game I was looking for. But Metacritic is just now going to be under this big multi-conglomerate of entertainment platform that like loses so much credibility in my eyes.
Yeah, there's something weird about a thing like Metacritic being a product that you can make money off of.
And that like literally like it feels like they could just start taking money from companies to change the score. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like due to it feels like a thing that would happen in American politics, you know?
For fucking video games.
I know, but
It's not that important, guys.
it's a billion dollar industry. Like
it all comes down to that.
It really fucking does,
That's
dude.
the
We
end.
think about
That's
it
it.
as art, but that's not the case. Like these motherfuckers,
Fandom does not.
right? Fandom doesn't give a shit. Fandom thinks about the amount of clicks that come in on Metacritic. You know?
Yep.
Yeah, just out of sheer curiosity. You have no intention of buying the game,
No.
but you're going to click the website a bunch of times
And if
to see
something
what people think about it.
and if something bombs, you go there to read the reviews. If something does amazing, you go there to read the reviews, right? Like
Yep.
like it's both sides of that coin. And being under this is like Walmart buying cyber. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like that. And it's not like I have any love for Metacritic. It's just that like this just feels like another homogenization.
It's there's something weird about being able to just it's like a humble bundle of media.
One-stop shop.
Yeah, like they just roll up and they're like,
It's
"Oh,
Walmart.
who's selling 15 different media platforms today?"
And now we just have all basically the same gray opinion.
Who did they? Was it, oh, from Red Ventures. Because wasn't I know Giant Bomb was owned by like CBS or something at some point, weren't they?
That was years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago, I think. Or they were owned by a company that the parent company was CBS, probably. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't like it.
Thoughts?
Not liking the whole fact of them buying up Metacritic, because so much in the industry, both from the gamer standpoint of finding out whether a game's doing good, bad, poorly received, whatnot, and also from the developers' end. Because so many developers have been promised, hey, you're going to get bonuses if the Metacritic score does X or higher. And quite often it'd be a thing of, oh, it got one short of X.
Yeah.
And that's just because, like, we didn't suck the Metacritic's guys' dicks enough times or something.
This, like, for me, like, this just feels like one of those things where, like, on any other media, right? Like, okay, now it's Fox News and CNN are like the same thing. Now it's like when you conglomerate media into one ostensibly voice, it's just
controlled by one person at the top of the food chain, who the
Yep.
boss
and
is.
it's always about the money thing.
Yeah.
Like this just is bad for kind of all of us. And
Yeah.
when I went and I looked at the other things that they owned, it was all other media shit that I was like, dude, Screw Attack.
They're empires.
They own Screw Attack. They own like so like now you bought Giant Bomb, Screw Attack, Meta, like dude, what the fuck, man? Like we so like oh man, this is tinfoil hat shit. But like we are seriously getting to a point where just mega corporations own everything and it filters down and sucks for all of us, whether you know it or not. And this is just yet another example. And like normally it's like you know, a company like Tencent buying up another studio, right? Like, or you know, Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, like, and we just keep seeing this more and more and more now. And now it's even the fucking media around video games. Give me a fucking break. Like, at what point are we gonna have to like fucking like start breaking out a guillotine and start fucking like chopping some fucking heads off?
Eat the rich.
Seriously, like at what
Yeah.
point? Like in my little tiny sphere of video gaming, you know what I'm saying? Like we were kind of always separate from all this shit, and now it's just like fucking. And there we go. And somebody comes in, and they're like, "Yep,
Bye.
out the door." Totally get it. I totally understand.
Well, this ties into what I was saying about Ubisoft earlier, of like the whole like racketeering to like feed one person's ego, so they just put out all the stuff that they know sells. Like it's the cynic in me wants to be like, a developer will gladly drop $100,000 to Metacritic to, you know, suppress I was gonna say to suppress a few scores, to lower it so that they don't have to pay out those bonuses because they didn't meet some arbitrary bullshit, you know, instead of being able to let them unionize and set what the goal is on contract.
Do you remember when things were nice?
Yeah. No, they were never nice in the game industry.
I disagree. Like games were fun in the beginning.
Acclaim existed. L&J existed.
JN.
LJN. Yeah, I'm a little drunk. Sorry, everybody. LJN existed. No, it wasn't always sunshine and daisies.
But like comparatively, like it's just insane to me the way that like we are becoming corporateized quickly. Like so quickly. Rich, we have been doing this show for a little over a year. And how many stories have we had about how many
Oof.
different companies? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Too many.
it's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's
Yeah.
literally insane.
No, it's the internet. The internet makes it so much more transparent, and we're so much more aware of everything happening.
And you know what? That it can be used just like the internet. It can be used for good and
Yeah.
it can be used for evil. And like, again, hey Rich, have you bought a fucking Activision Blizzard? Have you given them $1 in over a year? Nope. Me either.
Nope.
And neither is he.
Last thing I bought was Sekiro.
Right. That wasn't Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, it was. They published it.
They published it here in America, so I guess they did get it.
No, they
got cut.
Yeah,
I'm not sorry. That's fair.
yeah. That game exists in part because of Activision.
That's fair.
But no, like that's the last thing with their name on it that I'm pretty sure I bought. I think, yeah,
that was a
outside of
couple of years ago too.
it's like 2019.
Yeah.
Good game. It's a good game, but yeah.
Oh, hey, Rich, do you have a story about fucking Activision Blizzard by any chance?
Why, yes. It just so happens I do. And actually, I looked again. I have two.
I have one.
Something tells me one that I have is the same that one that you have, more than like.
And probably the same one that I have as well.
Ah, okay.
This is why we multitask, kids.
Yes. So in that case, I'm probably gonna go with the one that neither one of you have. Diablo 4, Activision Blizzard has announced that hey, there's a closed beta going on in 2022 here for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC. Woo. They've also announced that early 2023 there will be a public beta, and then it will be full release in 2023. Well, personally, in my opinion, they can go suck a lemon or a giant donkey dick or whatever, because I'm not gonna give them a damn penny.
Can you move your mic a little bit closer? Just a smidge.
Better.
Perfect.
This is how much I care about Diablo. Literally the only thing I even remember of it is fresh meat from the very first one. Yeah. Because I played the demo of Diablo 1 and I was like, this is not for me.
You don't know cow level?
And then I never I know cow level because of memes.
Okay.
Yeah, like I know that shit, but like I'm talking about from firsthand experience.
Fair.
Yeah.
I was just asking.
Yeah, fair. I mean, me personally though, I do like the Diablo-esque style games. Yeah. Path of Exile, like there's so many alternatives out there that I will gladly go to and gladly say, hey, this game is really good. Don't just flock to Diablo because it's Diablo. So, and which is why I'm going to be like, okay, Diablo 4 is out. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Not till they actually show to the public that they've changed their business as far as how the inner workings are.
Yeah, waiting for this fucking Microsoft deal to come through and them to come through with a gigantic broom. All right, get the fuck out of here, you fucking assholes! Like, and like, if that happens and they show actual reform, maybe I can go back.
But like, even Microsoft has their own problems. They still haven't figured it out.
Comparatively.
No, yeah. Activision is like a festering
boil.
It's like an awful STD that no one's discovered, and there's no treatment.
No, we have now, and now it's just
we're almost there. We're on the brink of a cure for it.
Yeah,
and people keep shelling out more money to get it. Is the problem?
Right.
The general public doesn't give a fuck.
Right, because the general public is not. This is why this show will never be popular.
Basically,
we are Hassan level of fucking like video games. We talk about the companies and the politics, like, and nobody gives a shit about that. But I don't give a fuck because I do. Yeah. Like, and I give a shit. Like, so whatever, fuck them. So what's yours? Because I got another one.
I mean, mine's about the labor board, the U.S. labor board. So the U.S. labor board found that Activision Blizzard withheld raises to developers that threatened unionizing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at his face. He's
shocked. Yeah, I know, right? Activision not appreciating unions? What?
We've only been talking about this for over a year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to this story other than it's just another fucking nail in the coffin of Activision's I'm sorry, this shit is easy to fix.
Oh yeah.
It is easy to fix. There are easy solutions that make sense. It's all there on the table. It's all laid out beautifully and perfectly, and it's in a nice little bow, under the Christmas tree. And they're just like, nah, I don't like presents. Like, it's so easy to fix. Just fucking fix it.
Yep.
Just fucking fix it.
And instead, they just pick up the present and immediately throw it in the fireplace while it's on fire. It's like,
Yeah, and it's like
okay.
it's like not even just like bad, it's like illegal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the infuriating part. Like, God, like, and nobody does anything about it. Ugh.
So I got one that we can tie out of this because let's make it a hat trick.
Yeah,
right?
let's
Sure.
Get a hat trick.
let's ride this
get a hat
EV train.
Here's my hat trick. Frances fucking Townsend. I don't know if you know who she is. She is the world's fucking worst human. I'm pretty sure.
CCO and torturist,
Yeah.
torture apologist.
Not apologist, encouragist.
Yeah.
So, if you know anything about her, she is a fucking cunt. Like, I don't use that word fucking lightly. That girl's a cunt. Yeah, some men can be cunts too, but she's a cunt.
Good word.
It is. It is a powerful word.
Mhm.
Pussy is a beautiful word, like, she, as the CCO, has resigned. She went, I'm not doing this anymore. And I went, thank you, God.
I wonder why.
One less, no, hold on. Let me do the things. I was like, one less Satan in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, great. So they've cleaned out one Satan. But here's the problem. She is still on the board for Activision Blizzard. She has resigned as the CCO. However, she is on retainer, which means she's still being paid as Bobby Kotick's lead advisor. Right?
What does he need to be advised on? He's done
So evil? Okay.
He's done so
good.
much damage, and he
And
is so fucking rich. Just
He needs this Karen to be standing next to him saying there is better ways to do things. Now, I would like to do a little bit of backtrack here. If you don't know much about Frances Townsend, during the 2000s, she served underneath Bush Jr. And when
W.
she was, the W Jr. as the assistant to the president for Homeland Security and Counterterrorism. In 2004, this is my favorite part of this. This is the shit that I really get hard for, is finding like literal shit on fucking apps.
someone being like a disgusting human being
And-
without question.
And us going,
Like,
okay.
undeniably garbage.
In
Nice,
2004, Townsend toured the famous Aragabi prison during the height of the prisoners situation, like in the Middle East, and the facility. According to this particular fucking
I know.
an officer at the prison told the U.S. Army's investigators that Townsend pressured him to extract more and better information from prisoners in his capacity as held from the Joint Interrogation and Debriefing Center. Okay, that's fucking awful. And
Torturing enough.
immediately afterwards, when this was found out, I think this was 2006, she doubled down and basically went in a press conference and was like, I'm just saying waterboarding isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Works at Activision Blizzard.
Like, there's gotta be. We need laws. We need safeguards in the industry. I swear to God.
Insane. Okay.
People with that kind of position should never work in an entertainment industry.
They shouldn't.
They know
They should be
nothing.
destitute on a street.
No, I agree. I agree entirely. But if they're gonna work, stay in your lane. Like, what experience does she have to work at
evil.
to work
She
at the
is
company
evil.
that makes Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
I was going to say
Like-
more along the lines of people with that kind of experience shouldn't work with people. Period.
Yeah.
End of story. That's it.
So what did you think her second thing on her resume is? Just pure evil? Like the two words, like pure evil?
Yeah,
and they were like, oh, so come
It
in
is
for another interview.
solely because she was out of a job and she's friends with Kotick.
Okay. So
That's all it is.
now let's flash forward. Okay. So now let's flash forward to 2021. In 2021 is when all of the allegations of which, by the way, we reported on because we're awesome, of company misabuse of employees and not being good. Leave it there.
Yeah.
So, regarding the allegations, this is what she had to say. She claimed that the California Department of Fair Employment, which again, we had several episodes about, the state is still investigating these allegations. She said, fucking, and I quote, presented a distorted and untrue picture of Activision Blizzard, including factually incorrect, old, and or out of context stories from over a decade ago. Isn't that what you would think Satan would say? Like the devil would be like, I mean,
that
that was
statement
from
means
over a
nothing.
decade. It's air. It's farty air.
Means nothing. Which statements?
Oh my god, dude.
Which statements are factually incorrect, old, and out of context? Which?
She is unbelievably the devil. Like, she is the most Karen that has ever existed on the planet Earth. And like, you're right. I think part of it is
Ultra instinct Karen.
Yes, exactly.
Or I guess it'd be ultra ego.
That'd be ultra ego
Karen.
Like I love the fact that like the entire thing really is in a dark way hilarious. She's like, waterboarding people is okay, and then flash forward literally 20 years, and she's like, I mean, do workers really need rights? I mean, are they really humans?
I think we can cut Skylanders this year.
And if I cut every person's foot off so they had to like hobble home, they would work twice as fast here because they'd have to be here more often.
Yeah, I assume her position was infinitely less about game.
Yes.
Oh yes.
And solely a staff position.
She is still on the board. She resigns as CCO. She's still on the board, and she's still technically getting two paychecks. She's also still Bobby Kotick's fucking right hand fucking devil, like on the shoulder kind of level.
I still can't watch Moneyball again because of that.
Dude, unfucking believable.
Jeez.
All right. So please continue to discuss, because that to me is unbelievably baffling. Like,
yeah.
And the fact that she had been working there for like 10 plus years, and I guess just so what in the video game industry, a good person who goes out and tries to do good, who gives a shit? But if you wear a pretty big suit and you have a tie and you have some clout with George W. Bush, right to the top. I've never actually heard of like, because you know like saying of like, if you're white and 40, you can only fail upwards.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that statement?
No, I guess I missed that one.
Dude, she is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
White people over 40 can only fail upwards. Unfucking believable.
I mean, when you have people like Kotick, your buddies with him, because like he's a big shock, he's a big conservative campaign donator.
Yep. We talked about that before too.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Shocker. That's all it is. It's just it's people with no real work experience, but they have money and they're in the right circles and they just pat each other on the back.
Yep.
That's literally all it is.
And
like,
go on.
You have to like, if I wanted to go work at Activision Blizzard right now, I would have to have a cumulative amount of experience that is physically impossible for my age.
Yeah.
To get into any kind of position anywhere, even halfway to the point that she's at.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like I would have had to like go into the industry at 18.
Yeah. And what really doesn't help is the simple fact of like with her being Kotick's right-hand devil. I mean, Kotick
on the
has
shoulder.
Kotick has literally been caught on record saying he's trying to take the fun out of gaming. And it's like, holy shit, why do we have this guy as our CEO? And then we have the right hand, or his right hand devil, who has waterboarding experience and says it's not that
Probably
bad.
waterboarded. They probably let her step in for a second and do it. Yeah, like, oh yeah, they dump a can of water on the guy's face.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
like it's just it doesn't seem real because
Yeah.
it shouldn't be. Like, this shouldn't be a thing that actually exists, and here we are talking about someone who oversaw waterboarding working on the board of a video game company.
Yeah. It's
It's
horrible.
just
It's absolutely horrible.
it's so stupid. I
Mhm.
don't know what else to say about it because it's just like it says so much itself how terrible it is.
Yeah, it is. And realistically speaking, this goes back to a story. I'm literally going to take the line from another story that I reported on probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago now. How a lot of the people who were pro blockchain, pro the forbidden topic, um, how it was a thing of these people are just trying to find a way into an industry that they can buy their way in so that they're legitimate. And it's like, no, we need to keep them out. They don't need to be here at all. And
to be fair, by us saying that does make us a little culpable. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to kind of do like a weird turn the cheek kind of thing. What we have to do is vote. You know, we have to vote with
we've said it multiple times.
100 million times.
Yeah.
You have to vote with dollars. We have to vote with time. I don't care.
Mhm.
Like, you know, it's the amount of entries. Like all of those things are very, very important to metrics, and that kind of shit is where we have our voice, a voice, but we have to speak in unison.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, when the loot box thing came up, it was, yes, a lot of us were like incensed by like, being like fucking like, what the fuck is this bullshit? But
And Overwatch was a huge success
and
in
right,
the meantime.
right,
As all the like word, like all the media coverage around it is how bad it is, and it's still just
makes ass tons of money. Like we just like that's how we have to do it, and it sucks because it's like a peaceful protest. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? This is some Gandhi shit, like where we have to do it because there's nothing else they're gonna hear if their wallets are still being filled. They don't care.
yeah.
And that's one of the reasons where like legitimately like this makes me sound like a fucking like one of the woke Alex, like whatever, but like I don't fucking play AAA. I don't, and mostly it's because it's garbage.
Mhm.
But the other side of it is the politics behind the companies, like, and that sucks, man. Like, again, remember when we had nice things when
Yep.
like a game company would come out with something and just be like, "This is a game. It is $50. Would you like to play this game?" And I'd go, "Yes, I would like to play that game." And then I could just get it and play it. And if it was good, it was good. If it wasn't, it wasn't. Like, it's just not the landscape we live in anymore, which is fucked, man. That's fucked.
Yep.
No, we've talked about just how it works now. Like I bought Dragon Ball Fighter Z recently, and to play the complete version of that game, you have to buy like 4 other purchases. Like every game, not every game, but like a lot of games function like that now to a point where it's like it just turns you off. It immediately turns me off from wanting to play something.
Yep.
If I have to micro purchase everything else around it because I do have FOMO to some degree. I'm good at ignoring it, but I do have it.
Yeah.
And that shit, especially with fighting games.
Yeah.
Fighting games, it's absolutely like the worst case of FOMO. Yeah, it's just
I think that like I because of my like, you know, aversion to AAA and all that, I think that I have a thing where if I play like let's just call it a free to play game. Like I'll just pick one at random that I played over the last year. Splitgate. I ended up putting let's call it $120 into that game. I bought 2 battle passes. I bought a couple of like random, just aesthetic items. You know what I'm saying? Didn't
Mhm.
change the game, but I played it for probably 100 hours, and I felt like I owed it to the it's a free to play game,
Yeah.
but I owed it to the devs, and I paid in. Like Aaron and I were having a conversation about this like a week ago. Like I don't feel bad about that at all. Smite,
No.
God forbid, I try not to think about the amount of money I threw into that game. Like, but that's fine. If you like the game, you like the content, this shit doesn't come out of fucking thin air. Humans have to make this shit.
Yep.
So that doesn't feel bad to me. What feels bad to me, everyone has their conscience, right? Like, well, God, except for like serial killers and shit. Like, but like most people, most
Yeah.
normal people have their conscience. If your conscience says, all right, man, do you really need this skin? But you're like, man, I like this game, and damn, this skin is nice. All right, I'm gonna buy it. Like, that's still okay to me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
That still
Right.
feels okay.
But not when large,
No.
like,
No.
especially when like meta evolves around things.
Or the pinholing of things,
Yeah.
like features being cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when you're with like it's really bad with fighting games when the meta revolves around specific characters, especially like Smash is a perfect example. A lot of the meta right now in Smash revolves around Season Pass 2. If you don't want to pay $25 for Season Pass 2, you have no way to practice against like a large chunk of how the game is played right now.
Sure.
And it's like that I don't know. That I feel like that's a problem that like no developer ever wants to actually touch. They just keep doing it, hoping that no one like none of the big publishers finally say something about it.
That's fair.
But
Yeah.
I'd buy a Season Pass 3.
I would too.
We talked about that.
100%.
We've talked about that like all weekend. It's like, yeah, you
100%.
give us a Season Pass 3, I'll buy it.
Yeah,
Fuck
100%.
fuckers.
100% would.
Fucking Nintendo.
Well, the content's good.
Yeah, no, I
The
know.
content's
I know.
good. That's why I don't feel bad. Like the
I know.
content is good. Like that's the deal. Like I don't feel bad because the content is good.
Because it makes me feel good.
Right. Like and yes, there is what do they call it? DLC advantage.
Yeah.
That is a
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
I still want to I don't know. It's not as
Yeah.
bad as Dragon Ball Fighters.
No, because those
We're broken. Who is next, by the way? I kind of stunk up this one a lot.
you did the Activision Blizzard,
Eh.
Yeah,
but then it went into the labor board that I brought up, and then it went into, or no, it was
You were the one that just finished, Alex. Because
Yeah, I
I
know.
brought it up. Paul went, and then you went.
so it's back to you.
Yeah,
So,
so
I
it's
guess
back to me
you.
again.
We went out of order.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Welcome to Smarter Than AI.
Yeah, yeah.
Show.
To kind of finish out the bash on Blizzard segment,
Yes, please.
Overwatch 1. Drive a nail in the coffin because it went down yesterday. Permanently.
Yeah, I saw some of the little videos of people of teams in the zone just being like, all right, cool, it's shutting down in like 2 minutes. Let's just not play.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
cute.
Yeah, but I don't think that game earned that
No.
reputation.
No.
I know.
So.
I could argue the other side of that. Because
Yeah.
like in all honesty, like dude, that game was yes, let's ignore the loot boxes. Like, and at the end of the day,
Okay.
the loot boxes still were only cosmetics.
Mhm.
It's not like it changed the game.
Yeah,
you bought the $60 title, you unlocked every character instantly. It is what it is.
Least egregious
Yep.
of offenders.
I mean, there was a lot of those, but like,
Yeah.
you know, like I know that like in 2016, dude, that was huge. That was
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I played
game of the
200
year.
hours of Overwatch. It was a fun game.
I played quite a few.
Mhm.
Aaron, literally just a second, was telling me that he's trying to play fucking Overwatch 2. There are 60,000 people in the queue.
Yeah. It's
Oh
not
yeah.
working.
Yeah. I mean, right now, if you're trying to play Overwatch 2, don't go play something else. You'll get in a week from now, guaranteed.
And like but that's not kind of how trends work, right? Um, like, and I get it, and it's free to play now, which is nice, I guess. Like, probably should have been the model from the jump.
But when you have
Um,
to unlock characters,
yeah, not smart.
Yeah, unless you have
Smart.
the
Pass.
save file from the first game.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and or buy the battle pass because that's instantly already available. Like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
yeah, it's unfortunate, but I don't know. I know that those like I know quite a few friends of mine online who are huge fucking shit. I know 3 groups of our friends who were huge in Overwatch.
Yeah.
I never really was. I played a bunch. Will loves that shit. Fucking like I just like there's tons of people.
Yeah, it lets him feel like a tryhard.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he likes it.
Yeah, and honestly, like don't piss in somebody else's cereal bowl.
Yeah.
But at the same time, shutting down Overwatch 1 doesn't make any sense. That feels like a real cuck move.
No, I don't
Yeah.
like this idea. I don't like the precedent that this sets of like shutting down old games.
Right. Art is
And
now dead.
and replacing it with the sequel that has a non-negotiable way
Do you know
of
that that's
addressing it.
Do you know
like-
that's why I fought fucking Street Fighter 5 so hard? Seriously.
Yeah.
They were
Hmm.
like,
That
you
business-
cannot have Street Fighter 4 at Evo anymore.
Yeah.
That is bullshit. I hate that. That is garbage.
Yeah.
And this
Mm.
feels like another one of these instances where you're being
But
pigeonholed.
you could at least still play Street Fighter 4. You can't play Overwatch 1 now.
Yeah, but I couldn't fucking,
Literally doesn't exist.
That's true, but I still couldn't fucking play it on stream at Evo.
Yeah.
The instant fucking Street Fighter 5 came out, they were like, no more at Evo. And it has never come back.
Yeah.
Not once.
Mm.
Fuck you, dude. Like, I don't know.
That's shit.
It's bullshit. It's
Yep.
bullshit. That is a company bullying you into getting in the new game or get the fuck out.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And fuck you. Like and that in particular really sticks in my craw. Street Fighter 4 in particular
Yeah.
really sticks in my craw. Because
Mhm.
that was the best version that game ever had and only got 2 years at Evo. Oh, we just came out with a new version. Capcom's not allowing us to stream it at all anymore. Guess we'll just all go fuck ourselves.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
Jesus, fuck me, dude. This is totalitarian level of insanity.
Yeah.
They are literally telling us what we can and cannot. And by the way, you paid that $60 for Overwatch 1. I paid the $60.
Yeah, I bought it.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. I
Fuck me, man.
I actually bought it on PS4 at one point and then traded that in and then bought it on Xbox because more of my friends at the time were playing on
playing it.
Xbox.
Yep.
And then I can go play Overwatch 2 right now with all the characters unlocked, but like I don't give a fuck. Like especially when like it's really just Overwatch 1
1.5.
with extra content. Like
1.5.
they're just revamping the first game. That's all it is.
Yep.
Like not to belittle the effort put in by the developers, but at the end of the day, like if that's what your company is trying to say it is, then that's how I'm going to approach it.
Oh yeah.
And that's
exactly what it is.
I don't understand.
No, this man, we really are like the left wing video game podcast.
We're
Like,
grumpy.
well, dude, you know
Grumpy
what?
old men.
We wouldn't be if I could just have lube applied to the penis that is going up my ass. I wouldn't fucking be as mad about it. These motherfuckers aren't even spitting on the dick. Like
Yeah.
this
Oh,
is
yeah.
just raw pushing in, and I go, stop, it's too much. And they're like, "Mrr." Like
We
it's
don't
just
care.
yeah, like
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
it's fucking rude. This is just rude. Like, and at the end of the day, you know what the fucking reason is? Dollars.
Yeah.
It's just dollars, man. Like, God
Yep.
bless America.
Because they
Ugh.
need to have their golden parachutes have golden parachutes.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
Yeah, in
right.
case the first one fails.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Is it me?
Yes.
Yeah. That was your story. So now
Yeah.
We're doing. Wait. Did I just get a comment about the fucking lube thing?
Yes, you did. From Blue.
Hey, Blue. Nice to baby. Nothing's changed, sweetheart. Just bring lube, everything's fine.
Yep,
God.
yep. Gotta have that
So,
lube.
Speaking of fucking kind of cucking people for like no good goddamn reason. So do you guys know who Dream is?
Yep.
Okay. So Dream is a Minecraft player. He's gone through a bunch of his own controversy. I'll fast track it a little bit.
Hey, he was the cheater.
He was the cheater. He cheated.
Speed run or something. Yeah.
He cheated, but he didn't cheat. And then he hired a guy, a statistical analyst, to back him up. And then the statistic analyst was like, actually, in all honesty,
You probably
he
cheated.
cheated. And then he posted it, which is very weird.
Yeah.
Very
You
weird.
didn't have to post
You
his
didn't post that.
opinion.
Paid that dude. But he's like got like I think 2.3 million sub.
Yeah, he's pretty popular.
He's
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
Yeah, 2.3 million. Yeah. We've had one person here, and then they leave.
Hmm.
So yeah, he's doing pretty good. But he has always been a no face person. He's never revealed his face. And I believe it was Friday. He did a face reveal for the first time. And he has been getting, I will use this adjective, lambasted.
Yeah.
He's been getting fucking roasted online. Thank you. Appreciate it. You know,
Yeah, I've
Oh, yeah.
learned a lot.
all this public school fucking education.
I've learned everything I know about Dream in probably the last 48 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I knew a bunch about him because I followed the Score Esports, so I knew like all the cheating stuff and like all that. But I feel bad because he is a handsome man, but he does have what we would call a protracted chin. So
Cut diamonds.
I have this kind of face going. He looks more like a crescent moon, like where his chin is like out. And motherfuckers are memeing on this dude. And
Mhm.
now, could we say that the internet is fucking also terrible? Like it's like half
Oh, yeah.
great and half
Oh, yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But part of this could also be like the haterade thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's an element.
I'm
of that,
sorry.
for sure.
Like,
yeah.
dude, I'm sorry. This dude who genuinely is handsome, straight on perspective, he's a handsome man. Okay, profile's not the best, but like whatever. Some people like crescent moons and witches. So, I guess in this case, a warlock. I don't know, man. I just say a bunch of shit on this show. So, like, I just feel like this is like kind of fucked up because this poor bastard went like for 3 years because I think he started in 2019 and he never did a face reveal. And then he finally does it, and everyone goes, "Oh, big chin." A millionaire, like I mean,
Yeah,
like,
he
Oh, yeah.
probably knew it was coming.
I doubt it, dude.
And at the end of the day, he's still getting the last laugh.
Mhm.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
still making money. We're fucking talking about him. I never would have talked about Dream if it wasn't for this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about
Well, the
during
cheating. Yeah,
We
yeah,
talked
the
about
cheating.
the cheating. But again, like for your physical appearance, like man, like dude, it's not like he would like showed up with like the elephant man face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't like scarred by acid during a trial. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that was
yeah.
that was a Two-Face reference for anyone who didn't get that.
Really?
Like,
I didn't know.
I'm just saying, like, it's not that bad. Yes, he's got a little bit of an extra chin. Like, you know, like, but like, man, fuck the internet. Jesus Christ, man. You fucking bunch of hater fucks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Why did he reveal his face?
Because it was one of the things that was most requested. Like, and he kind of broke the internet, by the way, when he did his face reveal. I think he had 427,000 viewers.
Wow.
And he just had a
Wow.
paper plate and he just pulled it down and he smiled and he turned his face, and that turning of his face, that was it. That like ruined the entire thing.
The rest was history.
And then cut the stream, he would have been fine. He would have been totally fine. Like, and yeah, like, you know, man, that's just so shite. Like, fuck these people, dude.
Yeah. you don't
Haters
need
gonna hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, man. If I had that many followers and money, I yeah,
It would still affect you, dude.
it would be
It would
annoying.
still- dude. Seriously, if like let's even call it 1,000 people were like, "Ew, you have a gross face." 1,000 people. I have very high and yet somehow very low, like self-esteem. If 1,000 people told me I had a gross face, I would be laying in bed by myself in my gigantic bed, right? Like my $1 million gigantic bed. Like, and I still would like right before I fell asleep, I would think to myself, ah, man, that was like the rudest thing somebody could have said. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, you would easily fucking have to think about it. Like, I just don't like. I don't know, man. Fuck people, dude. Fuck people. And you know, beyond the cheating, he got through a cheating scandal and still had all these people supporting him. And like, you know, like I don't know. I just feel like fucking. You're right. It is a haters gonna hate situation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's all it is, and then you just get the snowball effect of, oh, someone memed it, so I
in your
want
mouth?
to meme it, and then no, it's
Okay,
not that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, that was just me.
No,
All right.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's just you.
All right.
No, but like
I exposed myself.
a lot of it is that too. Is just someone did it, so then someone else has to do it,
It's the meme. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah. Snowball.
it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
It's frustrating. Get that shit out of my face. Like, yeah. All right. Well, I'm done. So who's
Uh,
next?
I guess I have a quick one.
Okay.
So,
My size there.
as we've been very grumpy and talking about how dumb the industry has been lately, but reportedly there is already a Horizon Zero Dawn PS5 remake, not even just a remaster, but a remake to coincide with the TV show and the VR PlayStation VR 2 game. And on top of that, there is a multiplayer project apparently in the works as well.
I heard that.
But we're like,
Mhm.
we're in some weird territory where we're like,
Well, let's not go that far yet.
can we
Let's-
can a game be like
Can we
8
can we go
or
can
10
we-
before we worry about remaking it?
Can we go back to that for a second? Hold on. Let's slow this conversation down. Rich, you your face has the same face as my face. Go for it. You go first.
Especially considering the simple fact of it's like, okay, Horizon Zero Dawn, it's current series. Why don't we take another series that is by far a hell of a lot more beloved on the same platform even, and release it to other platforms like, oh, I don't know, Bloodborne.
I knew it.
I mean, nobody likes that game. No one likes that game. So let's just throw Bloodborne away. Come on, let's do that. God.
So here's my thought. It is fucking annoying that like, okay, if this is like a classic, then okay, I guess my dick is ancient. Like it is fucking ridiculous that we are talking about a game like Bloodborne PS3, right? So technically,
No, it was PS4. It was a PS4 game.
I thought it was PS3 and then 4.
Demon
4.
Souls was no.
I know Demon Souls was also.
Demon Souls was
PS3,
3.
but it got remade on PS5.
Oh, so am I
No,
thinking about-
Bloodborne is solely PS4.
Okay.
Mhm.
So okay, so 10 years ago at this point, right? Because it was 2013 almost. So
I'm
almost 10
looking
years.
it up.
Okay.
March 24th, 2015.
2015.
2015.
Oh my god. I hate this universe. I'm like, can I just quit at this point?
Oh, so
Like
when was Horizon Zero Dawn?
18?
Yeah, that was recent. That was like
2017, February 28th. Oh, because it came out roughly around the same time as Breath of the Wild, which was the whole joke that every time a Horizon, because Elden Ring and the new Horizon came out around the same time as well.
Yeah, dude. Like
That every
this
time they release a game, they get overshadowed by something that,
is bigger.
yeah,
And better.
something that's actually doing something different.
I feel like this is just one of those things where I go, who is asking for this? Is it Sony because you want some more?
Oh, it's solely Sony. They have an
Like-
Amazon
Oh, yeah.
show coming based on the series.
Exactly. Like
They need a tie-in.
whereas, like as opposed to a literal, and this isn't a small percentage of people, especially now, right?
Mhm.
Like, okay, I get it. The Souls community has been slowly growing over the years, correct? We can all admit that.
Yeah.
And so several of them maybe missed. Shit, I missed Bloodborne because I didn't have a fucking PlayStation.
Yeah.
That to me makes oodles more sense than a game that just had a sequel, literally just had a sequel.
Also, I don't know if you know this, but Horizon is on PC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one. The first one.
The one that they're remastering.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's on PC.
Cool.
It looks really good on PC.
I like that you're learning how to do audio texture. Audio texture. Audio texture. It's super fucking bizarre to me. This just feels like a stupid cash grab. And frankly, I gotta tell you, in a weird way, I kind of want to be like, I think that series is neat. I think Aloy is an interesting kind of cute character. I think the world is kind of cute. I like killing robots and dinosaurs, so I mix them together.
Yeah.
But now I kind of want to go like,
I don't want to play
like,
you.
yeah, fuck you. Like,
Yeah,
this
exactly.
feels like you showed up in my car and you just kind of dropped 2 candy corns into my hand. And I like candy corn, but I'm like, why'd you give me this? Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's just such a bad look because there's so many. Okay, fuck Bloodborne. How about fuck Bloodborne? There are so many other titles that Sony has that they could release to fucking PC, and I'd be like, fuck yeah, okay, cool. Like,
this isn't even for PC. This is they want to remake it for PS5,
which is so much worse.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh my god, dude.
Like, there's where's a new Jack and Daxter?
Sure.
Yeah.
Where's Ape Escape? Like, people have been asking for Legend of Dragoon to be remastered or remade for years.
Yeah.
Like, Siphon Filter,
Siphon Filter.
Cool Borders, Twisted Metal, like Jet Moto. There are all these IPs that they have just been sitting on.
Yeah.
Yep.
That people like. Twitter is a thing. They're actively asking.
That seems like a lot of effort, whereas opposed to remaking a game
that's already
done.
built.
That'd be like if I, Alex Pino, wrote a book and I was like, now with new font.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, now it's in italicized.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And it's crudely stapled to the back of the book that already pre-exists. Like, it's just this.
They have to mail it to you in individually folded paper airplanes.
The one thing I will say that the one thing I will say that when I found this, because I also found it on Twitter actually, because Sony of all people tweeted out saying, what game shall we remake? Bloodborne? No one's interested in that. Let's remake Horizon Zero Dawn. And I'm sitting here thinking, prior to reading that tweet, I was actually kind of looking forward to playing Horizon Zero Dawn on stream, and now I'm kind of like, I feel dirty for wanting to play this.
Yeah, fuck you. Like this is a once attractive woman that you were once attracted to man in high school, trying to relate here. That you were attracted to in high school, and then he went out and he had 3 kids, and then he was like, now I found a picture of you and I'm just gonna start hearting all your shit. And you're like, ugh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just that, like, ugh. Like, why? Like, I don't appreciate this interaction. Like, I only accepted this friend request because of base, I don't know, human kind of gotta do kind of thing. It's like obligation. It's human obligation. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ugh.
You're just trying to be nice.
Like, and again, yes, I'm sure that series did well for a PlayStation exclusive, but like, as again, from an Xbox perspective and now a PC perspective, I never would buy a fucking console based on that series.
Yeah.
No offense. Like, God of War, okay, you got my dollars. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got my dollars, but
it's actually interesting fact. It is significant, like by a significant margin, the highest selling Sony PC port.
More than Spider-Man?
It has sold 2.398 million copies on PC. To God of War is 971,000.
God of War came out fucking after though.
So did Spider-Man.
Yep.
So they're playing catch up.
I'm actually let's see some Spider-Man sales.
Because I mean, legitimately, like, yeah, that doesn't seem right.
Given the same amount of time frame, I guarantee you God of War and Spider-Man would blow the living crap out of the water of Horizon.
Where's the actual number? Oh no, this is UK. I don't care.
Fuck you, Europe.
Okay, yeah, here. Wait. Yeah, that's another UK thing. Spider-Man is second biggest PlayStation PC
Launch.
coming second to God of War.
Coming second to God of War, which means
The
literally
launch, but
right. but
Horizon has more overall sales.
right,
than
but she was the first one,
Right.
and then both those games launched afterwards.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
So talking about PlayStation, I get to go because I have a good transition. So do you remember that PlayStation Stars program that's coming out? No, we talked about it. I guess at this point, like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to think about it.
I've been
I
following
think
a
I know
little
what you're
bit, but
talking about, but yeah, go on.
Let me do the things. So the PlayStation Stars is a free to join rewards program that Sony announced.
Yes.
That it was like July, and it's being also, I hate the way that this was written, gently rolled out. Ugh, god damn, why would you fucking phrase it that way? I think this one was rock paper shotgun is where I got this. I was like, ugh.
Well,
I mean, no, this one was Polygon. I was
we're,
like,
we're gonna gently roll it out, so we're gonna apply lube to it first.
dude, I've gently rolled my dick out on quite a few things, like, you know what I'm saying, but like I wouldn't phrase it that way to the general public.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, weird way to say things. Anyways, it's been gently rolled out, but it's currently live in Asia. It is gonna reach us here on October 5th, so tomorrow. Europe and Australia and New Zealand. I don't know why they fucking separate that. That's weird. But the program is basically saying this. It is a free to apply thing, and you can, each PlayStation user can have a profile that is going to get special achievements, which is what they are. They're trophies, kind of like Melee. Do you remember this? Like the little Melee ones where they're
Yep.
little 3D models. And each one of those models gives you a certain number of points. They still have not fucking explained what the point system or the scoring is. Nice job, Sony. But also counts your purchases. Wait, but okay. So in-game get points, don't have any values for. Purchases do have values for. Purchases way heavier. If you have 14 full-on PlayStation digital titles purchased, that puts you at the max digital purchases for that particular category. Fuck you. Okay, that's bad. Fine, whatever. Then you also need a bunch of in-game achievements to unlock these trophies. So here's the deal. It's been unlocked in Japan, and the highest tier reward has been revealed, and it is first in line for customer service.
Cool.
People aren't happy. I don't know how I have to explain that to fucking. Why do I have to say it slowly back to PlayStation? Like, why? Hey, Sony, you don't see a problem with this?
That's not a perk.
It's
That's not a perk anyone cares about.
Oh, it's not a perk that anyone cares about. And then on top of it, because you lock it behind purchases of online titles and then achievements, and what, you get to jump in line during customer service. Which also, I'd like to make this point. Jesse Cox was the first one who brought this to my attention. 5-minute gaming show. I highly suggest go fucking look at that on YouTube if you're into this kind of thing. If you're into this kind of content. This was the part that like made me laugh. Okay, so you got to purchase a bunch of shit, which is obviously garbage, and then you got to earn a bunch of shit, which is fair. Like, okay, fair. But then you get in the front of the line at customer service. Like, how much fucking broken crap do you like have that like this is the reward? It's like, if I have a problem, I get to be first in line.
I'll say this: I've been in their ecosystem since the PS3. I have never once contacted customer service.
Right.
And
So-
granted, some people who get their like accounts hacked and shit, like that does happen. But I've literally never had to contact customer service from PS3 to PS5.
So this is a reward that is kind of fucked up because you got to pay for it ostensibly,
Yeah.
and B,
Mhm.
nobody uses really.
I would actually be curious to see because there's got to be some sort of bullshit justification internally for that being a perk, which makes me think that maybe people do maybe dumb fucking people use customer service a lot. I don't know.
I'm sure that's the
Like
case.
not
Like,
dumb. That's a little aggressive, but people who maybe aren't super familiar with console
Sure, gaming.
marketplaces and platforms, maybe.
But would those people pay
Yeah,
14
exactly.
games worth of fucking titles and
platinum
get
trophy chase
and get
yeah
rare achievements?
yeah
How small does that Venn diagram overlap?
Yeah.
It like doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
at all.
They kind of
Like,
they
it doesn't
kind of
make any less than-
tickle each other a little bit.
They're pals. That makes no fucking sense. Like that is fucking.
They're old high school friends on Facebook.
That's it. They never communicate.
Yeah.
Like maybe once a fucking year they get like a like.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you coming to the reunion?
that is like ridiculously. Like I just can't even believe this. And like seriously, I feel like this is one of those things where like if I like slowly set it back to them, so this is the plan, and like they go, yeah, and I go, I quit. Like, what do you want me to do? That is fucking terrible.
I'm wondering, is this why, if I remember correctly, I'm wondering why, is this why the US was going to be the last region that this STARS plan was going to be rolled out to?
I mean, that
'Cause we will-
100% makes sense to
We
me.
will be the most vocal about it.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but like fucking, they know they already have the Japanese market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know they have it on lock.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, throw it there, and then because it's not just us, it's literally us at the same day. And by the way, the Americas means that's not just us.
Yeah,
That is
South.
Canada. That is fucking Mexico. That is fucking
North
South
and
America.
South.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
In ASA.
Australia and Europe. Like,
Hmm.
so that's the rest of the world. So my thought is they were thinking, let's test on a big base users, right? Like Japan,
Yeah.
and then kind of see how things go.
But in a small place with a similar mindset, probably.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
a more similar.
Like a Japanese mindset. And even the Japanese were like,
Looks like
this is
this.
bad, and like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how fucking terrible of a fucking idea does that have to be? It is mind-boggling to me. Like, you know what you could have done? I like literally just given badges or fucking name icons over banners.
They
Oh,
already
yeah.
have that shit for the trophy count. You get a different icon every time you level up your trophy count. now.
Right.
And it's attached to it's right by your name.
But couldn't we just use that as the major one? Why does this have to go to like fucking customer service? It just makes you seem like you're selling me duct tape that doesn't have a sticky side. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
it's just terrible. Jesus fuck.
It's a horrible perk.
Uh-huh. Yes, it is.
You know what would have been an amazing perk? One free game under $20.
They used to have a point system
Right, I know.
where you could redeem it for currency
Right.
and do that. I used to do it a lot, and then they got rid of it.
Right. But this would make sense because you're paying into it. You
Yep.
are also paying into it with your time.
Yeah.
And then we go, you get a $20 fucking game, anyone you want on the fucking
They
stage.
give you if you're like the way it works right now, if you're actively having a PlayStation Plus account, you get points for every dollar you spend in the marketplace.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
it's fucking Steam basically does the same thing, and it's
Yeah.
all worthless too.
Yeah.
I mean, it does pile up. I've definitely redeemed. I've gotten some free games over the years, but we're talking like again, like 10 plus years in the marketplace, and I've maybe gotten like 6 free games through that
Right.
process.
Yeah.
And I buy a lot of like Sony first party stuff, and like I'm in that marketplace, and it still does not really reward you in any sort of major significant way.
At least with
Yep.
the fucking like Nintendo like rewards club, like you can get things that are unique.
And
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, the platinum points. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
Like I have a Xenoblade Chronicles 3
Right.
like icon right now that I use for platinum points, and it's like you can't buy it anymore.
Right.
It was only available for like a month.
Right.
Yep.
See, cool. Oh, man.
Mm.
No, Sony has changed. As someone who's been in that ecosystem for a really long time, they have changed it to no one's benefit so many
I know.
times.
They
Oh,
just
yeah.
have no idea what they're doing. They're
Yep.
scattershotting super hard.
Yeah.
And
I do-
hoping
I will-
something sticks.
Right, exactly. I will say this though. I like the idea of the trophies, because I like the models in Melee. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I like a 3D thing where I can go through my gallery. If it was okay, let's hypothesize with Alex Camino designer brand. If you get to this top tier, you get to unlock a 3D museum that you could actually like walk through, and you could set it up with different trophy cases, different fucking trophies that you've earned, and set it up like a first person museum.
See, they
in-
did that. It was Astrobot.
But it was
It
fucking
was a game.
terrible.
No. The PS5 launch title, Astrobots, whatever, I can't remember. It's a really good game. But yeah, they actually. That's my point, though, is they put it behind something that you have to go and buy.
Right.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just do
Yeah.
that? Like for like, and hell, fuck it. Let's say that you get X amount of fucking points. You as opposed to getting a individual little fucking 3D trophy, you get a trophy case. And now you could put that in a 3D environment. You get to like it would be adding like Animal Crossing kind of thing. Here's a new room. You get to choose the fucking
Yeah.
wallpaper. I don't give a fuck. Like
Mhm.
shit like that would make people, and it would bore the fucking tits on all your friends, but you could fucking be like, "Hey, my buddy comes over. Look, this is my fucking trophy room.
Yeah.
Look at like this big
Hey, it
expansion."
wouldn't bore anybody. Animal Crossing success showed that people will willingly
Oh, yeah.
come over and look at your crap.
yeah.
100%.
Very much so.
100%. It is the model
to see.
train set of
Yeah,
fucking
just to see it.
this like,
Mhm.
and I think that would have been fucking cool. Like, like how about one that's it's a standing fucking glass case, but it's got LED lighting that's
I mean,
blue.
they even had
like-
they even had a version of this with PlayStation Home.
Yeah.
Where you could
that-
like.
Mm.
I mean, it was a long time ago, and it was early in the.
Yeah, well, the Xbox fucking 360 also had fucking Xbox Arcade too. But
Well, no. But like PlayStation Home was literally an MMO, and you could build your house and you could set up
I know,
stuff
but
inside.
I'm talking about something way easier
Yeah,
than that.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
way more simple.
You had to invest, and it didn't tie into any.
Thing.
It didn't tie into the ecosystem.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just kind of like
It
you had to
just-
play this independently.
I'm just spitballing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It goes to your point, though, is that they keep like brushing up against the idea.
And
And
never
then-
fully committing.
Yeah,
Right.
something stops them in their tracks, and they
Right.
never fully.
which
lean into
basically at the end of the day is development time
Yeah.
and understanding of what people want.
Yeah,
Those
because they
two,
totally want to remake Horizon Zero Dawn because everyone's screaming for that.
right?
Yeah, and fluctuating management. Like, I mean, yeah, you look at like Xbox and you look at Nintendo. They don't change upper management very often.
For
They,
better or for worse.
for better or for worse, but
True.
they typically have people who have a long-term goal in mind.
Yes.
Mhm.
And they commit to that goal.
Kevin
Sony-
Feige kind of thing.
Sony just kind of throws everything into the pot, and whatever happens, then they kind of adapt to it.
Usually
they just go forward
Yeah.
and they
Right.
accept
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, they've definitely got their head in the clouds because they're on top right now, and they're
They're not really though.
they are blowing away Nintendo. Well,
console, not Nintendo, and they're not
Mm-mm.
fucking. They're not really even fucking beating
They-
Xbox by that much.
they're-
Japan.
in
Like,
Japan, absolutely. Xbox is starting to sell because people can't get a PS5 in Japan.
fair enough. That's
'Cause
still a
fuck-
win.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, the sales discrepancy is still massive.
I agree, but
worldwide.
also, you're also not counting PCs.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know. Whatever.
that's irrelevant to the conversation.
Does anyone have any last thing that they really want to talk about?
I have a quick one that very nicely segues.
Do it.
Sony, you got the PSVR from the original one. Well, I hope you don't want to play your titles on PSVR 2 because it's not backwards compatible.
Yep.
So
I left my PSVR in California.
my question about this though is, do we need to backwards compatible everything going forward?
When it's a $300 headset, yes.
100%.
When it's an investment of that level on top of your console purchase, absolutely.
But what was the last time you actually used something to play last gen or the gen before?
Well, we're talking about something a little more specific. Like VR has so man, this is gonna be a little cutting. Here's a little fucking hot take. VR doesn't have a lot of good fucking titles.
No,
Period in a statement.
Yes, exactly.
Also,
their
the
titles
PS5
are
is compatible with the current PSVR,
Right.
which is another big
notch
middle
against
finger.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. That's bullshit. Like in this particular, very specific instance, no, fuck that. That is
Especially when the adoption rate is so low.
It's
Yeah.
so low.
When
It's
it's
so
so
low.
low.
Like, dude, that
Which
is,
might be why they're doing it, because they want a new adoption rate.
but
But when their titles are
They
literally
weren't there in the first place. Yeah.
lowered
They
your
were.
fucking total game count.
Yeah. If
That
they
is
weren't there in the
fucking
first place,
stupid.
then
That's huffing paint on a railroad track, dumb. Like,
but also considering their games are effectively experiences. Let's call it what it is.
Right.
They're experiences. They're not
with
games.
very few exceptions. It's actually still the only place you can play Resident Evil 7 in VR, which is insane.
yeah, that's true.
It's not on PC. It is a
Mhm.
PS exclusive
Well, the only
version
fucking
of the
place you can
game.
play fucking VR fucking RE4 is fucking Quest.
Yeah,
so,
I know. I have.
You know, like, like the last thing that
so
the
good.
VR market should do is try to limit
Yeah.
the amount of games.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that is the stupidest fucking call. That is saying I have bought 4 fucking packs of Magic the Gathering cards, and now I'm gonna buy 2 more because they're the most updated ones, and all of those are gone. Don't matter.
Yeah.
Rude. Like, it doesn't
Mhm.
fucking make any sense. And as a person who had one previously, that's a fuck you. It's to someone who maybe might buy your second version. Why? You cut your library in half. Like, you know what I'm saying? It makes no logistical sense. I know. And their fucking press release was so fucking obnoxious. They were like,
Mhm.
I mean, it's like brand new technology. Really? It's still the same thing. It's
Yeah.
3D.
PC figured it out. I'm sorry. There's
Right.
no excuse for it.
Yeah,
PC figured it out. It's completely 100% doable.
Money grubbing.
They just
bullshit.
don't want to.
Yeah.
It's money grubbing bullshit.
All
Like,
it is.
Fucking bullshit.
All it
dude.
is. And like
Ugh.
a lot of why I didn't use the PSVR very often is because it was not a very good VR headset. It
But for the
required it.
time-
No, even for the time, the alternatives on the market were infinitely better.
Quest was
If you had a
good.
PC, like the amount of setup required to play PSVR just to get controllers that are a gen behind, to like, they're not even PS4 controllers, they're PS3
Hmm.
Move controllers
Yep.
that
Ooh.
they essentially patched
Modified.
in the ability to use in VR, because they don't even have dedicated controls.
Legitimately, if we had a fucking term for this, I would call it fail across the board. That is a fail across the board decision. And like, I do not understand why they did it, and their fucking rationale is garbage.
Yeah.
This seems like we want more people to buy VR, but we don't have any real reason for it. So how about we just hamstring all of you? Like, boo. Dude, Sony, honest to God, has really been like kind of eating a bag of dicks for a long time now. Like, and I know that there is more Sony apologists, almost comparatively to even Nintendo apologists. At this point, that's a pretty close number. But seriously, like, dude, I'm tired of hearing this shit. Like, the more and more that I know, and the more that I have witnessed, and the more and more that I dig into everything, fuck you. Like, I love this fucking concept that like these Sony kids with Nintendo, I can like almost understand because they have Mario, they have fucking Samus, they have Link, they have like shit that you cannot get anywhere else. Sony,
And they assure that everything works.
right, 100%,
Like-
except for the internet.
Their except for their net code, but their quality assurance is like unparalleled.
It's
in the
It's going to be S tier.
yeah,
It's
when
going
it
to be
comes
S tier.
when it comes to their games coming out and working.
Right. And then there's Sony, who just is floating on this reputation of people loving their shit for so fucking long that they just think it doesn't matter what we do. And
And
they
it
are,
keeps proving to be true. Which is,
yeah, well, it's slowly but surely. It's erosion, dude. This is
Yeah.
erosion. This is good.
I was gonna say, you remember way back in the day when it was Nintendo versus Sega,
Yeah.
and how Sega like kept like scattershotting everything that they could, and eventually just
It feels reminiscent.
yes, exactly. It
feels
feels
reminiscent.
like that's the path that Sony's on, except it's just a longer path.
Right.
the problem is they have the library to do it.
But they don't have
'Cause
the
all
money to do it either.
Yeah, they do. The Sony's doing good. The Sony as a company is fine. The game. No, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting that Sony's game side is doing really well and Microsoft's game side is not. But Microsoft has all the money in the world, so they can afford the losses.
Whereas
don't
Sony does
necessarily.
not.
Yeah.
Always. They'll just put out another Spider-Man movie and they'll be fine.
Whatever.
But
Okay.
like that's what I mean though. It's like all Sony has to do is be like, "Oh, hey, Final Fantasy 16's coming out," and then they're good for a little bit. Like
Until the point where fucking Squaresoft goes, you know what?
then
Fuck this.
they're just gonna buy Square Enix.
Okay, sure. You think they have that kind of money?
They have enough money to buy Square Enix or FromSoft. Those
But the
companies
question
are not
is,
anywhere near what we probably think they're worth.
the question is though, are either one of those companies willing to sell to Sony?
FromSoft, literally, we had this fucking conversation 5 months ago.
FromSoft's already got a foot in the door.
FromSoft already knows that they are getting money for them and they can still be independent. They don't want to get purchased. They don't need to be purchased.
They would,
Mhm.
if I had to wager a guess, I'd say FromSoft got bought before Square Enix ever got bought.
I bet
They just announced that they're working in producing through PlayStation Productions, making film projects based on From projects.
I can't wait until all of those fail miserably. Yeah, like let's be fucking realistic here.
see Ryan
You-
Gosling
dude,
in Bloodborne.
I gotta say this, like,
Or no, sorry, Tom Holland. Tom Holland. It would be Tom
yes,
Holland would be the hunter.
It would be,
Yeah.
and it
forgot.
would be terrible. Like, dude, like, part of me has to tell you a fact. You are a bit of a Sony apologist. It's okay. I love you anyways.
I acknowledge the reality of the situation.
In a way,
They are. I hate this shit that they are pulling.
I'm just saying you did not marry this console. This company will never know your name and does not give a fuck about you. So to be so like, I love this thing, like, is fucking ridiculous. Like, just FYI, just putting it out there as my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm just saying.
I don't agree. I don't think I do that.
What a surprise! What a surprise! Fucking like a Sony fanboy or a Nintendo fanboy going, "Hey, like, no, motherfucker, they don't give a shit. They give a shit about your wallet. They don't give a fuck." And seriously, Sony has really been eating dicks lately. I will say that Nintendo, who fucks up on every fucking level, doesn't matter because they have the properties. The only real property that I can say for Sony that really carries any true weight is actually fucking God of War. Everything else isn't theirs really. Like, if worse came to worse, like a lot of these companies could just be like, and I'm out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
they
I'm
could
trying
just
to,
dip.
trying to think of
like-
the other. I mean, Horizon is obviously now a heavy hitter.
Sure, ish.
It,
We're talking with 3 people. 2 of us don't give a shit.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
You have to
just
understand that
saying.
you guys are the minority in this situation.
Okay, then you want me to go get Aaron?
He can. 3 people can still be in the minority.
I agree,
Like-
but three people could also be in the majority of 4 people, correct?
Very true.
That has no relevancy to the conversation, though. Like the sales numbers back it up. Is what I'm saying. Like if we're talking comparatively, Horizon does pretty well.
Don't disagree. I
Yeah,
don't disagree.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree.
But yeah, outside of those 2, I mean, they've been sitting on so many properties for
Dude,
so fucking
Yeah, I
long.
know.
It's
Dude, it's just
stupid.
not good. It's
Yep.
just not
It's
good.
stupid.
It's fine. All right, so are we done?
I think so.
I keep forgetting about Uncharted and Last of Us. Those are the other two.
That's true. Naughty Dog is pretty
Yeah,
famous.
Naughty Dog's a pretty big deal. I
Naughty Dog-
completely
Naughty
forgot
Dog-
about
Naughty
Naughty Dog for a second.
I mean, really, like Santa Monica is really what
Yeah,
it is. Santa
yeah.
Monica.
But again, God of War.
Right,
Like,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, all right. So chat afterwards.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, bye, Rich's chat.
Bye. Nice
Bye,
meeting
Alex's chat.
See you guys next week.
Yep. Alrighty, guys, that'll be it for tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. All the fun. Blue, thank you especially for hanging out and dealing with our shenanigans and all the fun craziness that's been going on. Hope to see you guys next week, and we'll have more stuff. I specifically will be here tomorrow doing more of Titanfall 2, and who knows, maybe even wrapping it up, because it's a short game. So, with that being said, I will catch you all later. Till then, bye!